Hello, my name is Dappist ASMR, and today I received in the mail Doll News, the official journal of the United Federation of Doll Clubs. And I am in a doll club with my grandmother, and it's just kind of how we bond. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to be in a meeting since COVID started, but we're still receiving our magazine once a season. So this is the spring 2021. And I thought that it'd be kind of unique to do a flip through of it. Not usually what I do, but I thought that it might be nice. And I'm also running short on time because I am working on getting a second job that'll be just on the weekends for a couple extra hours. But right now I'm doing like all the training, the orientation, and that, so I just don't have a lot of time to put together a role play. Don't worry though, you will be getting your weekly role play still. It'll be, I don't know. I know what it is, I just have to put it together and I have to get a few things still, and yeah, I'll work on it. But today, we're gonna relax, we're gonna take a deep breath, and we're going to look through the Doll News magazines. So, first page is from the editor and the Doll News staff. Then this page is an ad for Fritz. See? Antique dolls. And I personally don't. I think I have one ceramic doll I really like, and it's this African American wedding girl. And she's very beautiful. But I don't have a lot of these. My grandmother does, though. I love handmade dolls. This is from the president of the United Corporation Doll Club, whatever. So this side is like, well, I missed a page. This side is UFDC officers and regional directors, and this side is Universal Pandemic Annual Business Meeting and meetings that I won't go to. And yeah. The annual convention's theme is Dolly and Me by the Sea. So we have our little girl by the sea here. It's in Maryland. Then the next page is a Blue Ed, which is a really old, I think she's German. Bathing suit patterns were included in La Salle des Suzette, a magazine for French children published from 1905 to 1906. Some shown here are from 1906, 1909, 1921, 1930, and 1933. Some completed garments, like the 1923 and 1946 bathing suits, were offered for sale by the magazines. So you can see she is definitely going to go with her theme of by the beach. And I honestly, my mom will look through this one because both my grandmother and I received my own. And my mom will look through it and then she'll give it back to me and I will tear it up. This one usually doesn't have a lot of the interesting pictures that the other magazine my grandmother gets is. This is state officers and state of regional directors. But there's sometimes some nice ones. UFDC nomination process to 2022 election information. We've got a girl here. And then we've got a bunch of ads for doll stuff. This is how dolls change culture and are changed by cultural sharing. So this is how different areas changed culture and how different cultures being added in changed them over the years. Fare thee well, my own true love, fare thee well, my dear. The ship is a-waiting and the wind blow free, and I bound away to the sea. Marianne. Oh, that was like a song, not a poem. Oh well. I'm not gonna read every page, but I like to look at the pictures. to Across the Pacific. So the one was all about, North American dolls. Oh, the Americans. And how bringing over dolls changed their perception of dolls over the years. And how you can see, like, this one is a cornhusk doll, which is very Native American, but how it looks more like a colonial dress. And then this is more of one that was made by, like, the early Americans. And then how this doll was made from a flour sack and was oil painted. These are all Asian dolls. They're paper mache dolls. Had a thriving business, oil painted on Rhode Island. Exploration was continuing to the North American continent beyond. Oh, look, it's Santa Claus. Dreamland by Charles Weston clearly shows the style of Japanese dolls that were being made in 1983, as well as a European baby that was inspired of the introduction of Japanese dolls to Europe. So basically they're saying that, like, the dolls that the Chinese used to make later was used to shape how the British and German were slowly using paper mache to create their dolls, and how that eventually formed into the porcelain dolls, which are a bit more known today. Some of these are just kind of creepy though. Look at that. And they're going over different dolls. Two early 20th century women model their style of kimono wear. That girl is so not Asian. Neither of them are, obviously. Interesting. Bit of a spectacle. Okay. This AM400 made by a German firm for Armin Marcel is a spectacle herself. So this is all about, like, doll glasses. And different kinds. How some are made to look more realistic, while some are on big chains and have pins that were used to keep them on. Some had blue glasses. Yeah. Oh, I jumped. Some were monocles. Some had them sitting on little fans. Or little sticks, like fans. Some had opera glasses. War and politics and intersecting the world play. So this is how about, like, during, I'm going to say World War II. It's either World War II or World War I. The political and gruesome reality of World War I. So World War I. And how the war shaped how toys were made differently. So you can see, Daddy, what did you do in the Great War? And then you can clearly see the little boy playing with soldiers. And then even the cartoon made in Germany, and you can see that their dolls are all in jail. Where the American-made doll. And the toy shoulders that they played with were considered super American. You see a paper doll where you can be a soldier or a sailor or just a boy. Before the dawn of European doll toys makers dominated the field, but this trend would change in World War I. Dolls from Germany were considered alien enemies. An advertisement featured the ladies' home journal depicts dolls in a shipping crate to the world. Made in Germany painted on the front. This meant that dolls familiar to young girls from the previous decade would cease being imported. And they just do a bunch of different soldier dolls. The cootie game was popular to America and Canada. The goal was to capture cooties in trenches. So yeah, even, the world around you does definitely shape the play that you have. Far left, Black American men served during World War I, though not side by side with their white counterparts. Dolls depicting black soldiers were rare. The sweet cloth doll would have been played with by young black boys and girls. Benny Bonnet was a popular series in the Ladies' Home Journal. One issue featured Benny Bonnet getting married. The uncut paper doll assembled showed the groom with his army kit and his bride tuxedo. So he's got his tuxedo and the rest is for his army. Below, pilots are often seen as romantic military feature. This Boisier flyer would appeal to boys and girls. The hands and feet are fuzzy, like a teddy bear. Okay, so you have like the cars now. Female Nazis were rarely rendered as dolls. Hitler Youth dolls were used as propaganda to lure young girls and boys to join the cause. This doll has a music box. The song no longer plays, but I wonder what the song might have been. So this was one made in Germany. Germany has control of north of Africa, especially Egypt during World War II. This doll possibly represented the troops under the Desert Fox. General Rommel is probably not made for black clientele. Most likely the dolls was made for white German children stationed in North Africa. And then you have just more dolls. But yeah, a lot of these are very historical and they do touch on different areas. I'm shocked we didn't get more stuff on beaches. They usually will go with their a young American with her beautiful little navy wear. Usually we get a bit more on whatever their theme for the year is. So I'm surprised it wasn't at the beach, but I guess I wouldn't know what they would do in that swimsuit magazine. 3 Mirrors in Time by Woods and Eggman. Rudolph Valentino in The Eagle. So this is a whole thing about Rudolph Valentino and his most popular picture. Oh, I have to show you this. This is his most popular picture. I have no idea who Rudolph Valentino was. I guess I could find. Italian-born icon of Hollywood silent film. Okay, so he was a silent film star. Rita Hayworth Carmen. I feel like I recognize this girl, not this girl. See? They're not telling me if they're two different people, though. So they're going over how dolls are made for silent film stars, apparently. Jackie Robinson. The Jackie Robinson doll. Yeah, just what every boy wants. A Passion for Black Bride Dolls. I was just talking about that. I actually have one by Jacqueline Harp. All items from the author's collection. Okay. Fascinating. I actually have one. It's one of my favorite dolls. Here's Nadine Bridal Doll. The date and artist is unknown. The plate features an African American tradition of jumping the broom. The artist is Ann Lee, and the plate was produced for a company, Sandy USA. Okay. I'm already agree mine is cuter, but whatever. So here are different dolls throughout history. These are Madame Alexander's. These were McDonald's toys. I had like the whole collection of those at one point. This is Michelle Obama in her wedding dress. And this is this lady. And it's 26 inches tall and purchased over 25 years ago from JCPenney. White was created by Goldie Wilson and Letters Wedding Day from the Black Legacy. If I remember, I will just insert a quick picture here of it. That is mine, or if I forgot, then it's not mine. Irene Israel Horseman doll artist. Okay, so I know I have it focused on this page, but like, look at that expression. This person's, oh, they're like singers. Let me see if I can get you a good image on that. They're like singers. That's very interesting. Alfred's Little Imp, Betty Retton knows. So these are Swiss children. These are Swiss children. I didn't even have to look, and it's just, these are just some normal children, I guess. I don't know. They look very European, so I'm assuming they weren't part of it. Part of like the everything. And then this one. I would not have guessed France. Represent the Brittany region of France. Interesting. I would have guessed Sweden, but this was the Swiss one. I don't know. Dutch. Some Asian. again, the normal little Patsy dolls. Gypsy. Okay, so I guess this is the one for the Gypsy. And not all of this is political correct at all. And I'm going to say, just because, you know, I say it because I'm reading it, doesn't mean I agree with it. Some of these I do not agree with their opinion, but that's fine. These are Polish, because a lot of this is very historical, and there was a lot of not great stuff in historical. The Russian Kozak. I think that's how you pronounce it. Patsy type, so these are more patsies. Nun, and then unidentified, but might represent Belgium. Alright, then you have your Spanish, the Amish, Moravian, Czechoslovakian. Okay, and then just another gingham tailored one, other type of payout. No, not a Patsy, gingham. And then a doll dress, paper doll. And I would totally just cut this out and be very precise, and then I would give this to someone. But they also just make great envelopes because it's a thicker paper. I've missed something. Here we go. Dolls as mirrors of mankind. So this will be how the dolls of the period really reflect like hair and clothes, and are like time machines of that era and what was going on, which is basically what we had decided. This would be 1900s. People could afford to travel. Tourists brought back dolls as souvenirs. These were often striped to their souvenir outfit and dressed for play. In 1900s, mama dolls were patented as an improved baby doll. Georgina Overall patented her first American doll in 1912, but not long after production of voice box was added that cried mama when the doll was tilted. So that, I guess, would change how it was more viewed. Mama doll, okay, by the mid-1940s, mama doll was declining. Okay. But it kind of, a lot of it is just the difference in what high fashion was considered, like Barbie. This is what I saw earlier. A typical family of the 1960s. I honestly feel like this doesn't really work anymore because they're usually, I don't know, movement, real, and how, you know, things in the 1970s, they were trying to make them as real as possible. In the 1980s, you had the Cabbage Patch Kid craze by Xavier Roberts. Yes, he made the money for my alphabet series. Play dolls today reflect issues children face on a daily basis, either their own or within the family circle. American Girl and My Life by Walmart have produced survival dolls to help those dealing with cancer. Brat dolls produced True Hollow dolls, and Smile Becky was produced in a wheelchair. Barbie's now available with a prosthetic leg. 2020 saw 3 different versions of Barbie with wheelchairs being reintroduced. So they're saying nowadays, you know, we're becoming more accepting. Oh. Okay, and then they have a thing on surprise dolls. Some popular play dolls today are surprise. The dolls you receive are not revealed until you go through a series of unwrapping to each of your surprise dolls. Psychologists are saying that these surprise dolls are popular because kids are looking forward to things and enjoy the anticipation and know they will receive something positive. More dolls to help children relate to the pandemic will undoubtedly surface with as the LOL Frontime Hero already produced by MJ. So they're saying how, like, LOL produced dolls with masks recently, and lots of the surprise dolls are giving children the ability to look forward to things that is positive. And so that kind of shows you kind of where we're going with our life, is that kids need positive play. Okay, watch out, it might be booby-trapped. A demolition expert holds dolls sent by the U.S. Sermon in Vietnam to his mother by mail. It's feared the dolls might have been booby-trapped with explosions by the Viet Cong before mailing home. The Vietnam War was a conflict in Vietnam. Laos then began in November. So, this doll, I guess, was really, they were actually really, these 7 dolls were about 7. They were made of plastic stand around 18 inches high. So they were actually afraid in Vietnam that the dolls would come back with bombs on them. Barbie, from role play to role model. And so, yeah, this is an article about how Barbie went from being more of a, just a play and super more fantasy to where now she's doing more careers, and I guess they always have been. I think this is mostly just on different outfits she's had, like movie producer and Army, Air Force, Marine Corps, Navy, President, her World Tour series, right? Dolls of Ethnicity. I don't know. I don't really do anything with Barbie. Okay, this is the Mary Louise Society. I don't know what that is, but I'm already. This is on highly articulated dolls. And how dolls are having more joints and what they can do. And some even have joints in their fingers and toes so they can do this. And yeah, it's weird. My sister loves them. I prefer super handmade dolls. A spy and a doll artist. Here's a painting of Hannah Julia. They seem as an unlike pairing. Dorothy Quincy Heiser, a stay-at-home mother and trained fine art artist, is making what she calls figures, but the rest of what Soul does is reciting as one of Excel's spells and a name changing. Then, okay. So she made dolls. Their chosen medium. But where's the spy? I don't know. Yeah, so she made dolls. She made dolls. She would take paintings and make it into dolls, like famous paintings. Is basically what I got out of that. There might be a spy involved, but it's a long paragraph. Virtual Black Doll Museum. So DEEPEEGEE Virtual Black Doll Museum, which opened to the public on January 7, 2021. This is an online World Plus site devoted to collectors of black dolls and to those who share keen interest in black doll history and information. Installs images and descriptions of 1,000 black dolls from the combined collection of the curator and global museum patrons. So, yeah, if you're more interested in finding out about black dolls through history, dolls of color, then there's that museum I just said. That's cool. That's Rosa Parks. And it's a Barbie. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. They made a Rosa Parks Barbie. Those Codas dolls came from various sizes, were made to total inches of all his joys are mounted at the neck and shoulders. Ew. I think that just means they can turn their head on some level. But they're really creepy. Okay, we're not focusing any time on these guys. I will show you the pictures. You know, he looks like the father. The father has red eyes, and he looks like he'd be from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'm just saying. They look so unpleasant, like evil stepsisters. I'm just saying. Like, they all look unpleasant. I haven't seen one that looks generally happy. Okay. Highland character dolls. Shinla MacLeod. This group of Macklin dolls is, left to right, Scottish fishwife, craftsman making cradle, Sky woman, East Ross fishwife, Shetland woman, knitting, West Island woman at her spinning wheel. So, yeah. See? They have really friendly faces. They're just, old people with friendly faces. And they give. Oh, I missed a page. Inspired by Emma. Emma, is a British old TV show and if you haven't seen it, I recommend Pride and Prejudice first. Just saying. I think Pride and Prejudice is better, but Emma's a good one too. The one that I think sucks is Downtown Abbey. That's a modern show. I don't know. I haven't seen this one. Remembering Diana Effner. Okay, I have always loved Antique Tales, The Lovely Faces of Peru. Okay, I think that's just the artist. See, they have such like happy faces. Like they all seem like, except for that one. The one I just showed you looks real sad, but there are a couple of them have really happy faces. They're super expressive, actually. That's the girl that was on the front cover. These are just a bunch of faces. There. Okay. Warm welcome to our newest members. I don't particularly care. The 1989 convention. Okay. So this is a focus on a doll convention. As I said, I don't really go to them. Club notes. Use from USDC Museum, wish lists. The rest of these pages are just information. So I am just going to go through them and we will pop through them. Alright. Nothing interesting at that point. I hope that you enjoyed. I kind of wanted to keep this under a half hour, so that's kind of why I rushed at the end. I hope that you have an absolute great day. And I hope that you know how special you are. And I hope that, things will slow down so that I'm not as rushed as I was this week. I love you guys, and I hope to hear from you guys real soon. I hope to see you all real soon. Bye.